Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new to the channel, I am SendIt Steve. As you can tell by the intro, we've got the F450 all shined up. It is looking freaking killer, if I must say so myself. But I mean, I've already done the repair now to make sure everything was good, but I'm gonna go ahead and roll the footage of actually fixing this thing. Now, we did two things today. We ended up fixing the low four-wheel drive, which obviously this was the actuator that was bad, so we've ended up, you know, doing that. And then we also did the exhaust pressure sensor that was always kicking a light, and it's been on for, I don't know, I'd probably say the last year. And I gotta admit, guys, the truck runs so much better now. I knew it was going to, but I just didn't want to beat on it. Now, again, I'll say it again in the video, but I'm not saying this is the fastest truck on four wheels or anything like that, but this thing is freaking killer and a lot of fun when it's tuned up and ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll the footage, and I'll pick back up with you guys at the very end. So jumping inside the truck here, obviously you guys do know I do have a engine light on, which we are going to take care of. That is obviously just this sensor here, so that's going to be a quick fix. That's going to be towards the end of the video here, but I wanted to go ahead and show the four-wheel drive situation. As you can see here, I click it in four-wheel drive, you'll see it actually engage down here. See, there you go, you got four high. Then when you turn the knob to four low, obviously you're still in the neutral like it asks. I can't say like it asks. It's asking to be in neutral to obviously engage. You put it in neutral, and you're still just in high four-wheel drive. So I do believe that the actuator that we got is going to go ahead and take care of this. You can tell even rolling forward over here, we're still in low four, and it just never really engages ever to low four-wheel drive. You can tell by it moving, it's obviously still in high four-wheel drive. It would move a heck of a lot faster and be more darty if it wasn't low four-wheel drive. But we need to get this fixed. I do plan on doing some things with this thing. Plus, I just want to make this truck 100%, guys. I honestly don't want to have any engine lights. I want to know that if I want to take this thing on any big trips or anything, that I can, and just know that everything is good to go. So again, it was still in four low. Click it into four high, or two high. Click it into two-wheel drive and the light goes out. Four high obviously works, but that's sort of it. So I do want to get four low fixed. Let's get out here and I'll show you guys how to swap out this actuator. All right, moving along underneath the vehicle here, you can then see that this is actually the actuator that we are going to replace. So there's a 10mm bolt here, 10mm bolt here, 10mm bolt here. There's a plug and a plug. Go ahead and get all that undone. And this actuator basically just slides out, and then we'll slide the new one on. Disconnect this one. There's two, and there's your old unit. So I am going to go ahead and transfer this O-ring over to the new one, because this transfer case that was in here only has, I believe, like maybe 82,000 miles on it. Before I sold it, we did end up putting a transfer case in this truck before, so it doesn't have very many miles on this, and the O-ring is actually in pretty good shape. So we've got that transferred over. This is obviously the new unit here, and we'll get it tossed up into place. So one thing I am going to try to do is line up, which you can tell they're pretty well lined up actually where they are at there. So we'll go ahead and get these tossed in, and hopefully, fingers crossed, guys, we will have low four-wheel drive. So go ahead and plug all these in. I'll plug them in down here because it'll probably be easier to get the top one. The bottom one doesn't really matter. You can reach that one easily. And I'm hoping you guys can actually see what I'm doing here. There we go. Turn it just a tad. That should work. There we go. Perfect. Unplug this in so I don't forget. All right, so basically what I did there was take a pair of pliers and put in there and kind of turn the motor a little bit. So that should actually work. We should be lined up. Toss our 3 bolts in. All right, so going in here, you can actually see that there are a few codes. It does show 9 codes. I did have to jump start this. The battery was a little bit weak. It has been sitting. So exhaust pressure sensor low, and as you can tell there, brake switch input malfunction, which does happen a lot on these trucks. That's just kind of the brake sensor under the master cylinder there. But we'll go ahead and get all this taken care of, and by the end of this, we'll have no engine light, and it won't come back for a while. I know I've been fighting this engine light for quite some time now, but we're gonna get it rectified, and And now that we have low 4-wheel drive, let's go ahead and get the bonnet popped here, and let's get our engine light out. I am freaking pumped to finally have this engine light out. I'm a little nervous because I know I'm going to be rough on this thing, but I'm excited to get this thing back up and running and in tip-top shape. Let's get the hood popped. This is always a fun part, climbing up. Now that I climbed up in here, the easiest way to show you, the sensor itself is actually right here. You can see back there, it actually is just a tube that comes off of the up pipe and then comes over and goes right here to, you know, sort of the tube that is sticking up. So we just basically, it's very, very simple, very easy. Unplug that. You can tell it's the same plug as this one, because I did get one that I ordered in that was wrong. This was actually the correct one the second time around, but super easy. Let me see if I can set you up here to watch the entire thing happen super fast. All right, now you can see there, we've got our adjustable on there because it's just going to be easier to break it free. I'm going to bring the socket way out here because it's easier to break it free out here also, but there you go. Twist it, it breaks free. Super, super easy. Ooh. Try not to lose stuff here. Hopefully you guys can still see it. Did seem like it turned the camera a little bit, but got our sensor just about out. Boom. Now basically you can see in there it is kind of dirty, so I'm going to take a piece of wire here and try to poke down through. I'm not sure how well you guys can see it, but it's definitely a little gunked up in there. This side's definitely a little gunked up, so we're going to go ahead and run a piece of hanger down through, push everything out, and we should be good to go. Obviously sometimes you do have to clean these out. This is going to be one of them cases where I think it's going to benefit me to clean it out, so let's just get it done. All right, well, you can tell I dropped the GoPro there, so I'm not sure what you guys were able to see here, but I've got the new sensor back in place. It's plugged in, and let's go ahead and get this thing fired up and make sure our light does not come back and make sure it's not still a hard code. All right, so remember when I said about the it shorted out? Well, I did notice here, I'm not sure if you guys can see it there, but that actual wire kind of got bare. It looks like it actually like caught the manifold at some point. So I went ahead and relocated, moving the new sensor down a little bit so it doesn't actually hit the turbo or anything. So we should be good to go now at this point, and I'm excited. So let's get in here and fire this thing up, make sure we have no more engine light. All right, so moment of truth, we're gonna get this thing fired up here. As you can tell, before I start this thing, I always end up going up here and clearing codes, because when you go back in, you want to make sure, I'm not sure if you guys can even see that, but it just says one code here, and obviously the engine light will go off when we fire it up, but I always clear it before we start it, especially with the diesel. But moment of truth. Obviously the door's open, that's that chime. Go out, we'll go right back in, and you can tell there, guys, there is no other codes in this thing. So I am freaking excited. We finally have this thing ready to rock, ready to roll. I'll do a quick turn off for it real quick and fire it right back. I'm just show you guys there is 0 codes in this thing. All right, turn it off, go back in, fire in my hole there. Well, not in my hole, but fire in the hole. We'll go back over here. As you did see, I took the key the whole way out, so it went the whole way back to the beginning. Oh, it does appear, I believe that's 6 and 7 glow plug harness. So we'll get a glow plug harness tossed in this thing. That's super easy to do. Maybe we'll make a video about that, but we no longer have our dreaded engine light on. I don't think the glow plug harness code will kick an engine light on this truck, but there you guys have it. We finally have no more engine light on this thing. I'm gonna take it out for a couple more rips because, as you guys do know, the reason I didn't want this thing to be fixed and to kind of fix it is because this truck is actually pretty quick. Now, no, I'm not saying it's the fastest truck on 4 wheels, or, you know, it's gonna go out there and beat anybody and everybody that I race, but this truck is very, very fast. It's very fun to drive, especially when it has no engine light, and I kind of left it in limp mode because I didn't want to be beating on it. But there you guys have it. I'll take it out for a couple quick passes, and hope you guys enjoy the content. So again, if you do, please give it a big thumbs up, smash that like button, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in an upcoming video. I'm just gonna end it here, guys. I'm gonna take it out, do a couple pulls for it and everything like that, and just enjoy it for a little bit. Take care, guys. We'll see you in the next one. And just like that, our engine light is solved. Let's take this thing out for a rip. Alrighty, well, now that it is officially the end of the video here, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Sort of a kind of a much needed, and this truck is a lot of fun. I gotta admit, I've been driving it now all day, probably the last, I don't know, 3 hours I've been driving this thing, running my errands, and I now know why I didn't actually fix this thing. It is freaking fun, it is quick, and you know, just look for me rolling coal everywhere I go now. But there you guys have it. This is the official end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, smash that like button, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in an upcoming video. Let me know what you guys want to see me do with the F450 next. I don't want to do anything crazy, as we are taking care of it lately and we're getting it all cleaned up and everything, but let me know what you guys want to see with this thing, and we'll do it and try to have some fun. Probably no off-road videos with the F450, but we can use the Avalanche now. Take care, guys. We'll see you in the next one.